Welcome to Enlightenment Unknown, Life of a Spiritual Nomad. Join Reiki Master and Quantum Healing expert Wes Coons as he guides listeners through the depths of self-discovery and spiritual enlightenment to uncover the version of you we haven't met yet. Hello and welcome back to Enlightenment Unknown, Life of a Spiritual Nomad. And we are again doing a very special episode with a special guest. Wes, do you want to introduce him?
Yes, my one and only, my best buddy Ty Reed is here. What's up, Ty?
What's up, guys? I didn't know I was special, but I guess I'm special. I'm a special guest.
Hey, everybody, he was in the Army, so you got to be a little special to be in the Army, just saying. Yes. Not everybody could be in the greatest fighting unit in the world, the United States Marine Corps.
That's true. Not everybody can eat crayons for a living.
United States Navy.
yeah, there's not enough crayons to go around.
Not enough crayons to chew.
So thanks for being here. Ty came over the other night and cooked a steak dinner. We had fun. So just love you, man. I've missed you. It's been a while.
It's been a while, man. It's too long. I'm glad we get to have this time, man.
Yeah. So we've got a really cool episode tonight. We're actually going to record a couple things since you're in town.
Let's do it.
Yep. We're going to talk about the second exorcism. We're going to talk about the rebirthing ceremony.
Ooh.
And later today, I'm going to record when the priest came to the house and did all the clearing stuff. It was interesting.
I'm sure it was. I wasn't there for that one, but man, I was there for the other things. And if the house was anything like what I saw in person, I'm sure it was eventful, man.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't recommend it. Let's just say that. So, Andrea, do you have questions today? What are we doing?
Yes, Wes, I do have questions. I know you got to ask a lot of questions of Ty last time, and you've got a lot more this time, but I do have some of my own prepared.
Let's see what you got, lady.
All right, so as someone who Wes refers to as his guardian angel, as like one of his best friends, you saw the spiritual battles firsthand. Mm-hmm. And I would like to know, how did those experiences shape your own beliefs and understanding of the spiritual world, or maybe just the world in general?
All right, yeah, that's a good question. How did it shape my view of the spiritual world? I said this last time, I grew up in the church and I've been around, I've been in the spiritual realm and I've seen spiritual warfare, and I've seen demons being cast out, and I've seen those different things on a smaller level. Like this was for me an elongated battle. You know what I mean? Like you see like a 10-minute going back and forth, praying with someone and helping them to expel something that was attached to them. I've seen that before. But what happens during that 10-minute session doesn't work. And then you go back for another session, and then another session, and another, and another, and another. I've never seen that before. I've never experienced that level of warfare, And it was confusing to me because why is it still going on? Why is it still happening? So that just educated me more that some battles are bigger than others. It's not just a base level spiritual attack. There's levels to this, and I saw another level of it, and I'm happy to say that I saw a big war that we won. So that was good.
Hey, you ain't the only one glad that shit won. I can tell you that.
I'm sure I'm not. Uh-huh. I'm sure you have a much better sense of it.
Well, what's today's date? Is it the 6th or the 7th, something like that?
Something like that. Let me see.
I noticed 2 nights ago, I felt something, and I couldn't understand what it was. So I happened to look at the calendar on September 5th. Was it 5 years ago?
Was it either 17 or 18? 2017 or 2018?
No.
Or
no.
19.
It was 19.
19.
So that'd be 5 years ago, right?
5. Yep.
So 5 years ago on September 5th, I did my rebirthing ceremony. So this time of the year is interesting for me because my regular birthday is on September 17th. But yeah, so there's that. It's interesting that we're doing all this week.
Right. And it's crazy. I mean, how the timing line up. I'm never home and never in town. And then this week I'm available. I'm in Virginia Beach this week. Go figure, right?
It's kind of like Ty just blows me off all the time, Andrea. That's what he just admitted it on international radio.
International radio. I admit it to being a bad friend.
So, something Sandra Grace had said to me that the big demons, she always called them bubbas, the big bubba will shove out the little bubbas. So I think when we did the first one, whatever that guy was, he was as powerful as he was. There was things in there significantly more powerful.
Wow.
It's always fun thinking about how many you actually had in you.
Eesh. They usually travel in packs. I mean, I know that. I've seen that just reading the Bible.
Well, when we did the rebirthing ceremony, remember, Dee said she's seen it come out of my grave that I was in, and it went through the sacred fire.
Through the fire.
Yeah.
And even Kennedy seen it. When your dog Kennedy saw, we were there, Kennedy. You were up on the hill. You were literally buried.
I was in my grave,
And you were buried in your grave alone. And I was down the hill at the fire with Dee and Kennedy.
Yeah. And Jackie was there, right?
Jackie
was there.
I remember. All right, now I remember. Here's I'm gonna paint it for you. Dee and I was sitting outside at the fire with Kennedy. Jackie was in the peace chamber. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh yeah,
boom,
drumming.
boom,
Yep.
boom, drumming. So Dee and I, we were like, it was probably 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and we're like, I got my one eye open, like, stay awake. This is hard.
I think I was sleeping in my grave. I was comfortable. I'm like, this is the first time shit didn't hurt. I'm like, this is great.
Look, so I had to come and check on Wes. Hey, go check and make sure Wes doesn't need anything. He's buried up to his chest in dirt. So I walk up to him and I come right up to the edge and I like kick a little dirt on him. Got me up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I was fired. But no, we can laugh and joke about it now. But
that was serious business,
dude. It was
dude.
serious business. It's like the biggest traumas that's us military folks. We find a way to laugh at some of the harshest, terrible, nastiest things that happen to us, but we find a way to overcome it and make it. Hey, laugh at it. Laugh at our pain.
So, does the Army constitute itself as being in the military? I was just curious how that works.
We are the military.
Okay,
you're support. Like everyone else is support.
Just curious.
Yeah, I got you.
So, what the hell is the Navy, Andrea?
Taxi drivers.
Yeah, they're Uber.
No.
They're Uber.
Uber.
Yeah, because we gotta get your drunk asses home.
Yeah. Right. But if I can, I mean, just about that night. So I remember that night Dee and I were at the fire with Kennedy. Jackie was inside drumming. And Dee, Jackie, if you hear this, fact check me later if I'm wrong.
They ain't listen. You're good.
I'm my girls. But Dee, I kind of had my eye, the half eye I had open, and I didn't have it fully. I was half closed, half open, and the other eye was fully closed. But that half eye was on Dee, and she popped to like, she saw something, and I popped to too. What is it? What do you see? And she's like, did you see that? You didn't see that thing walk through the fire and walk just past? And Kennedy popped up, and she moved and got next to Dee. Mm-hmm. So Kennedy saw it. And my blind behind didn't see her. I don't know if I had my glasses on or not, but I didn't see anything. Mm-hmm. Like Dee, my girl Dee, she's I look up to. I admire her as a strong spiritual person. And when she got scared, I'm like, Should I be scared too?
My ass was snoring.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, that she said that it was half horse, half demonic beast from the neck up, and had this big demonic face with horns. And she said the hoof prints of the horse aspect part of it, the hooves from the horse were about 8 inches across. It was big.
Yeah.
And then it walked through Kennedy. Kennedy, we've talked about it a little bit on the show. She's my German Shepherd. She's walking with the Lord today, but she was with me through everything. You know, she'd lay on my chest and try to protect me. She's a good girl.
Yeah.
And I honestly didn't think she was going to live much longer. She looked horrible.
During that time.
Yeah, she looked horrible because the demons were on her and messing with her. You know, I watched at one point where something was attacking her that we couldn't see, and she was crouched down and screaming and crying, but she wouldn't leave my side. And I told her, run, Kennedy, run. And she ran, and she ran. And, you know, that's how loyal she was.
Yep.
You know, she wasn't going to fucking leave my side, even if it was going to kill her. But it walked through her, took what was tormenting her away. And the next morning when she came up to me, she looked like she was 2 years old. Yeah.
Yep.
And I was shockingly good looking because you even said, dude, what the fuck happened to you? And I'm like, I must have got better looking is what happened. Right?
So, look, you have a story about Kennedy. Let me share my story with Kennedy. Right? So it wasn't that time at the mountain. It was another time, probably the time before. I'm sleeping, I think probably the first time, one of the first times I was there. I was sleeping on a cot. You remember this. Mm-hmm. And I fell asleep. And I don't know if you guys experience sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
You never experienced sleep paralysis. Like you sleep and you're like, I'm awake, but I'm like, body move, body, arm, scratch my nose. And it like nothing.
I remember this.
And I'm like trying to get out of like, what the heck? I can't, I'm stuck. And I'm awake and I'm like, move. And Kennedy must have recognized it. And she came up, my eyes are closed, and that pointy nose, she's a German Shepherd, poked her nose right up against my cheek and like woke me up. And I jumped up and like she started licking my face and I just hugged, thank you. She must have saw my distress, saw that I couldn't, whatever it was. She woke me. I'm like, man, she got me out because I was starting to panic.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I had that at the hotel. That's when I woke up and something crawled down my throat. So yeah, there's that.
And there's that.
So that takes me to the gay porn that you're doing.
Yeah.
Does that go down your throat there, Ty, too?
Oh.
Just wondering. we can cut that out.
Leave it. No.
I do want to say just one thing about Kennedy, since you're sharing all these stories about Kennedy. To know Kennedy was to love Kennedy.
For
and
real.
She is not with us anymore, as Wes has said. But if you go to Enlightenment Unknown on Instagram, at Enlightenment_unknown, right, Wes? There's pictures of Kennedy there. So go look, see how beautiful she is.
Yeah, she's a good girl. So, we were at the mountain one time, and one of the ladies, Liama, owns a house up there. So I don't know what we were doing, but I think we were there first, and then Ty showed up a couple days later. So there's a bunk bed in this room, and there's like 4 of us sleeping in this room. We were sleeping on
Cots
and blow-up mattresses. There's a bunch of us up there. And Kennedy was sleeping on the lower bunk. Yeah. Well, Ty comes and he falls asleep. And Kennedy comes to the room and she looks at him like, what the fuck, motherfucker?
Yeah. and again, poke me with that nose, waking me up, let me know I'm in her spot.
Yeah, she came up and poked him in the head and he woke up. She's like, bitch, move.
Look, I almost got up out of her spot and laid in a doggy bed because she meant business, man.
Hey, she was serious. She was pissed. She poked him. It was the funniest thing I ever seen in my life. But she poked him right in the head. He wakes right up. I'm like, I think you might need to move, bro.
She gave me grace. She let me stay for a while. So
yeah,
thank her.
Yeah. So what other questions do we have, Andrea?
Andrea. Okay, so let's see what else I've got here for you, Ty. So you were there. I'm curious. Okay, this is a quick question to go into my next question. How long did you know Wes before the haunted house, or did you meet him during this?
I think I met him at either right before this all started or right at the beginning as it all started. I think we said this before. I'm a real estate agent for this company, and I came to work for him, and it all started with a gift that I gave him, a non-commissioned officer Marine Corps saber, and I said, "Hey, this was gifted to me, and I'm not a Marine." Ugh. No,
Not everybody could be in the greatest fighting force in the world. I'm just saying.
You're right. We all can't be soldiers. So I gave him, this the saber, and I was like, hey, I know you're a Marine. This was gifted to me, and he said, man, he really appreciated it, and he invited me to hang out. As we hung out, and we struck up conversation, and we just started telling me. I think as the weeks started progressing, we started hanging out a little bit more, and he started telling me about these weird things happening at his house. And I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, if you say so. Then I started seeing how it was affecting him. I'm like, okay, maybe it's something to this. Maybe he really believes this. Something's wrong with my friend. Then I'm like, wait a minute. He's showing me pictures of figures and faces and just weird things. I'm like, okay, I mean, growing up in the church, I do believe in this stuff, but is he crazy?
We still don't know.
I'm crazy. I'm just not nuts. There's a difference.
There is a difference. In fact, you are crazy.
Yeah.
My kind of crazy.
I would take that.
Yeah. Nuts, he's not nuts. I did determine he's not nuts after seeing all of this. But once he started showing me all these things, all this stuff happening, I'm like, wait a minute. Then the really weird things, him not moving out of my favorite house. He had to move out of his favorite house, the Haunted Mansion.
Oh yeah, Ty loved that house. I wasn't going back in that fucking thing. I can tell you that right now.
I was there all the time. Like,
hey dude, when I sold that thing, I sold the bed sheets, the soap, the toothbrush fucking holder, the dishes in the sink, the toilet paper. I left with a small trailer full of shit, and we did a grab and go and just threw it in there.
I was there for that too.
Yep. And literally every piece of furniture, every picture. I mean, there's pictures of my fucking family in that bitch still. I'm like, later. I didn't like those people any fucking way.
I'll cherish the memories
he got
in my head.
Yeah, the pool table, fucking towels, the plates, the silver, everything. I took nothing. Nothing. And that place was decorated nice,
It was. It really was.
Yeah.
Memories.
And whenever I see him, I'm like, hey, bro.
Are you still alive?
How are you sleeping? He's like, I'm great. And I'm like, he's the most disconnected motherfucker on the planet. This is perfect for you.
Yeah.
But the house was fixed,
Yeah.
The house was fixed.
I really do believe that was the case. I really do believe it was fixed with all the love and care put in it by the people pouring out into it. I believe it was fixed.
Yeah, it was fixed. So, people kept telling me, sell the house. I'm like, dude, what am I going to turn this over to Roger and Cindy and their 3 kids and watch their lives get destroyed?
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Well, thank you for that. Going back and recapping all of that. So you really knew Wes really from the beginning of when the haunted house was happening.
Yes.
You've been with him ever since. But what I'm really wondering is back at that time, because this podcast is not just about the haunted house. It's about, all of the amazing gifts that Wes has and what an amazing healer he has. When you were experiencing this with Wes, and it was such a dark time and battling so many things, did you have any idea or inclination about the transformation that Wes would ultimately go through? Did you see that coming?
No, absolutely not. I was like, man, I hope he lives through this.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't a future that we talked about. It was just survival. I mean,
Get through this day.
It was 100% survival because everybody we talked to said they could do something. And when it boiled down to it, Lakota was the last opportunity. And if that failed, I knew that equated to death for me. So I would not have been here 2 or 3 months after that. So that's just what it would have been.
There, like he said, there was no talks of the future. There was no, what do you think? You know, when this is all over, we didn't have a chance for that. It was like, whoa, how are we getting out of this one today?
Yeah, I mean, we were in full combat, so I'm not worried about fucking taking a vacation. We're just trying to, because when I wasn't with you, if I did get the little bit of sleep I got, but I was on the internet, I was calling people, and this may sound strange. I'm calling from Virginia Beach, and I need somebody to do an exorcism. I didn't know what I was asking for. I needed the house fixed, so I called it an exorcism. And it wakes you up a little bit when you have a Buddhist monk and some other people, after I tell them a little bit about the story, they're like, don't ever contact me again.
Yeah, that's a little... That's intense.
Yeah, and it's not that I weirded them out. They understood how powerful it was, and they were scared.
They didn't want any of those problems, man.
No.
I understand why. I understand why they didn't want those problems.
Yeah, it's kind of like dating, you know? Got 99 problems. I don't need a fucking another one. You know?
True.
Okay.
True-ish.
Okay. These two mouth chauvinists over here.
Yeah.
Two crazy guys just having guy talk. You know, that's what we do. You guys, listen. This is how we talk all the time. You guys are just here for the ride, so enjoy it.
All right. Now, Ty, you said that a lot of times you were witnessing what was happening to Wes, but the stuff, the darkness, it didn't really mess with you.
Yeah, it's so interesting, and I don't have an explanation as to why. And you know, ordinarily, if I'm around a bunch of people saying I feel this, I see this, I having this, and I show up and I don't see it, I don't feel it, I'm like, the whole lot of them are crazy, you know. But in this situation, I'm in a house with, I remember a bunch of times being at the house, either inside or outside, more than one person other than you, with you included, more than one person while we're there. Oh my gosh, Wes, I feel so, I'm dazed and confused.
They get sick.
Yeah, they really experiencing this. Several times, you know, someone who maybe not have had that much to drink or had to drink at all are acting drunk. And I'm like, wow. And back then I was the one drinking. I was enjoying myself, and I'm more sober than these guys. And I'm like, something is up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I think if the pictures weren't able to be taken, it would have made it just seem like a loony bin. But
for sure.
That was the key point is, you know, my family and people, they're like, oh, you're just, it's something psychological. But I'm like, I can appreciate that, but can you explain to me what's standing next to me in this picture?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
What do you think is the darkest or scariest or otherworldly thing that you witnessed during that time?
So one of those nights on every night we were going out, you know, we get off of work, go home for a few hours. Hey man, what you doing? I'll be ready in 30 minutes. You know, we're heading right out. And that's pretty much our conversation. And we were just doing our routine night, you know. There's probably 3 or 4 bars. When I say bars, I mean restaurants that we would go to.
Yeah.
And we were about to go to one of those. And, you know, I'm in regular, let's go mode, you know, just let's forget about this crap. Let's go, you know, have a good time. And we're on our way. We're in a Maserati.
Yeah, we had Roxanne's fat ass, that's for sure.
Outside, and we're excited. We're like laughing and joking, and then it just shifted. Man, I keep getting these rashes on my back, and then, and it's a face. You remember that?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And I never forget this. Like, and my mood changed. Like, it was like, hey, man, I keep getting these weird rashes. And it was kind of funny at first. He said, it's a face. I'm like, okay. Mm-hmm. And he showed me, lift his shirt up, and he like, man, it was a little bit too weird, too close for comfort. It was a little weird spot,
Yeah.
But, hey, best friend, check out this rash. But no. But it was a face. It was a mean, ugly face in the form of a rash in his skin. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay. Imagine, I don't know if you ever see those weird movies, like those horror films where like a human body and you could see like handprints pressing out of the human body. It was almost like that. It was almost like someone inside of him face planted against his skin from the inside, and it's the outward press. It was so weird, and I'm like, I see this. It was like, someone tell, oh man, I got this weird rash that looks like a face. That don't look like a damn face. It looks like a rash. But no, this one, it was an actual face, and it was ugly and mean and I'm like, what? And I remember, this weirds me out because we were in a car. I might have already had a few drinks already, and I'm ready for like just relax time. I was busting my butt at work all day and just relax and have fun. And then he's like, Ty, pray for me, man. And I never forget like this. I had this angry prayer. Like, why are you doing this? Why is this happening? And I was just so angry and passionate, and I don't remember what I said or what, but it was just, I just remember just this passionate, angry, not angry at God, but angry in the situation prayer, and it was like, I can't believe this. Like, I see this. And it pissed me off. And that was probably one of the most, I would say, impactful or memorable, pissed off, all of that.
Yeah, I had forgotten about that.
Yeah.
But that thing, it did look like somebody's face being shoved into my skin.
It, like from the out, like from the inside out. And it's like a freaking, ugh. Mm-hmm. I remember that. It just pissed me off.
Yeah, there was times where I would lift my shirt and, I'd just take a picture of my chest, and you look in the camera, mm-hmm. and you see these faces all over my skin. And, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning when you're by yourself, it definitely makes you feel alone, that's for sure.
I can see that. I didn't know at the time what it was like for you to go home by yourself, or what happened after you dropped me off.
Yeah. You
come pick me up, we go hang out several hours, and you drop me, all right, man, let's call it, all right, cool. And I'm going home, that was fun, that was nice, and then we get a good night's sleep. I didn't know what you were going home to. I didn't know what you were, after we called it a night. I didn't know. I thought, hey, go get some good sleep.
Yeah, I didn't tell anybody.
I would have crashed out right on the couch with you, bro. I would have did that.
But we ain't going there, Ty. Just saying.
All right, shut up.
I know you're there for me, and I appreciate it. And just sometimes you got to go fight the fight by yourself. I can't sit there and have somebody hold my hand all the time, and we have dinner almost every night at Rudy's. Yeah,
Rudy's, and then we had it was like 3 or 4. We had Rudy's.
We go to Chicks. Then we go to Sky Bar. Sky Bar is fun. We can roll in there and get a private table and $900 later.
Yep. You gotta get a bottle.
You gotta get a bottle if you got a table.
Yep.
And
and it's funny how get a bottle and then all of a sudden all these people come and
yeah,
like,
all of a sudden it's shocking how these women just show up to sit at your table. I'm like, how does that happen?
Where'd the rest of this alcohol go?
And it's funny because everybody knew kind of what I was going through because I talked like, dude, stop talking about that shit. I'm like, whatever.
Listen, it was times we were at bars, when I say bars, I mean like we're just out. We're not alcoholics. We're just out hanging out.
I was drinking water.
Kool-Aid for me. When we're out and about, and I'm at the other end of the bar, and I hear, yeah, check out these pictures. I had to literally run over and like, put your phone away, bro.
Hey, that instance, I was showing her a picture of my dog
There were faces and fire. Right? Like, bro, put your phone away and have a regular conversation with her, please.
It's fine.
Let's not scare her away.
Hey,
what can go wrong?
Yeah, what can go wrong?
Look, that's what we say all the time. Hey, what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah. So we decided to go to the Cavalier at the beach, and the Cavalier's haunted as fuck, right? He's like, you want to go? I'm like, it'll be fine. We're like in there about 19 steps. I said, okay, it's time to go.
Like, I told you.
I was like, do you see what the fuck is in that corner right there?
I said, no. See, but I'll take your word for it. Let's get out of here.
The valet didn't even park the car yet. I'm like, we're not staying.
Yeah.
There's that.
I think what I'd like to point out most is that, Wes, it sounds like you really missed a great opportunity to have Ty be the little spoon. I like
Hey.
Listen, so I'm not ashamed to admit, pause, that I like to be this little spoon, pause, with a woman.
All right, and then I have just one last question before I turn it over to Wes.
Yeah.
Full speed, because I'm sure he has more questions for you. But if you could sum up that time period with Wes and everything that you guys were going through with the haunted house and everything, if you could sum it up in one word or one phrase, what would it be?
Teamwork. Not just him and I, but like, I didn't feel like an outside participant in it. I was in that shit. I was in it. So when I say teamwork, I don't mean him and I mean, I'm sure he says it a lot. When he calls me a guardian, I'm like, hold my head down. I'm like a guardian angel. I'm like, it's hard to receive those type of things because I feel like it was an equal friendship I've gotten from him, what I've given back. You know what I mean? It was an equal exchange. So I don't think I've done more for him or anything.
Yeah, I think we saved each other at different levels.
Plenty of times, yeah.
Because later on you shared things that you were going through that I didn't know.
Yeah.
And how our friendship helped heal each other.
For sure. Yeah. But even bigger than that, the teamwork that I've seen from the priests that we went to, the teamwork that we, Margaret, Sandra Grace, Lakota, D, Jackie, we can go down the list of just all the different people. I'm just naming the people that I felt the impact from, and then there's many, many more that I can go down the list of just the people that I felt the impact from. I'm sure you have your own list, but it was just that teamwork. Everyone, like, what can I do? How can I help? How about this? Let's try this. Did you think of this? There was a lot of resistance and like, no, I'm good. But there was a lot of, I got you. I got your back. I'm here with you.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it. I can just imagine.
Well, there was people traveling 8 hours to Abington, Virginia to come help me do a ceremony or something that didn't take a penny, that didn't question it, said yes or volunteered,
and spent money in some cases. They had to spend money to drive there and all, so they
take off work.
It was
Linda and Kathleen never took a penny, never asked for nothing.
Yep.
on their days off, driving an hour and a half, 2 hours each way, plus pay the like $20 or whatever on the tunnel.
Yeah.
And came to be of service and do God's work. We take turns saving each other in this life, I needed help.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. And it was just amazing to see good people using their gifts, talents, resources, knowledge, ability, everything that they had to chip in, to help out, to hey, help you out, man. Let's win. Let's win this fight. And I think, I mean, just from my point of view, I think it was great.
No, it was definitely a once in a lifetime opportunity. And when you look backwards on it, how every person showed up at the right time and had the right idea or the right tool or whatever it was. And, that's like in our listeners' lives. We ask for something and you think, oh, that door is going to open right in front of me, but it's not the door in front of me. It's the door to the right that I've been ignoring. Or it's the person across the street that, sees you at the mailbox and starts talking to you and you're busy. And the reality is that person's in fucking trouble and they need a friend. And taking that 2 or 3 minutes out to say, hey, how are you? I noticed your grass isn't cut. Would you mind if I took care of that? Would you be offended? And I remember when I did my neighbor's grass, they were mortified, and I'm like, it's okay.
It's okay.
Let me be of service to you. And like I love to say, we take turns saving each other, and it's a beautiful thing. Lakota said when she was a little girl, she was directed to go into this cavern that she could barely fit through, and she crawled in. And when she got inside, it was this big open area, and she had one of those little teacup candles.
Yeah.
And this entity came to her and spoke to her, and it was angry that she's there. And she's like, the ancestors told me to come. I'm not disrespecting you. And it gave her permission to do her stuff. But the point is, that little candle lit the entire cavern up. That little light changes things. That's why I say we're here to be a beacon of light. Yeah. We are here to be the best version of ourselves. Yeah. It doesn't mean I'm going to go, everybody has to be a doctor or a lawyer or super rich or whatever. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you have to find the peace inside of you that you fucking hate, the peace that you're embarrassed of, and love that fucking piece of you. If you want to be doing God's work and become the beacon of light, heal yourself, because the answer is inside yourself.
That's for sure, man. That's probably one of the most powerful things. Like getting that ego in check, being secure in your insecurities, because we all have them. That one soft spot that we can't talk about, you can't bring up. It's everyone has them, and we do so much to protect it. But man, when you figure it out, when you figure out how to manage that insecurity and how to get your ego in check and how to take the focus off of yourself. It's not all about you, and it's a bigger picture in this world. There's other people involved. When you learn to look outside of yourself and look to help and be a member, an active member in a community. I'm not saying go outside and leading visuals and help.
Yeah.
Just be a help, be of service to someone.
Well, the Virginia Beach JCs, the Junior Chamber of Commerce, is for small, for younger business people to network. And one of the things that the guy that recruited me in said, Wes, you can't do everything, but one person can do something.
That's right.
And that's all I'm asking.
That's right. Yeah. That's exactly it. If everyone stands up and do their part, man, then there's no holes, there's no leaks, there's no misses. Yeah.
And I don't know. One of the things that I find frustrating is at least in our society, I don't know about other countries, but we're supposed to. You're a man. You're not supposed to have any. I grew up this way. You're supposed to have thick skin. You're not supposed to cry. You're not supposed to have feelings. You're not supposed to do that. Fuck that. You know what I talked to? I had dinner with a very powerful friend, my buddy Brett the other day. Amazing attorney.
Yeah.
You know, he's this jujitsu guy, so he's got, you know, the little cauliflower ears. You see somebody like that, you're not gonna fuck with that dude, man.
Nope.
I'm good. Yep. I'll fight most anybody, but I'm gonna probably be okay.
Yeah.
And you know, we're sitting there and we're talking about a business opportunity and real estate, and you know, we held hands in the restaurant and prayed to God in front of everybody, and people stopped and looked because this was at a high-end country club in town, and we're talking, and in the middle of the thing, he just stops. He says, "I just want you to know I love you and I appreciate you, and you have a gift." And we talked about that, and when we were leaving, you know, we embraced each other and held each other, and in front of all these people, and told each other that we loved each other. That's what we're supposed to be doing, because in our society, we're inconvenient.
Yes.
Go to fucking work.
Yeah.
If we get a divorce, you don't get your children.
Yep.
You don't count. And by the way, man the fuck up.
Man up. And you better not cry. And you better not cry, because you're less of a man now. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. So, you know, I was talking to another friend of mine, Yogi, yesterday. He's going to be at the mountain for the heart dance, and I told him, I said, "Hey, I just want you to know there's something inside of you that is powerful and important, and I look at you as a role model, and I just wanted to say thank you, because I think we need to tell each other what we see in the other man and the ladies that's beautiful."
Yeah.
And because we empower each other. And he says, "Really? That made me feel really nice. I looked at you as a role model." I'm like, all right.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? I can look at someone with so much admiration and so much, wow, just astonished by the character or whatever that they possess. And you go up to them and say, "Listen, man, I'm just absolutely floored and blown away by X, Y, and Z, your character, this," and they're like, "Me?
Yeah.
You don't see it? You don't see it?" It's amazing to me now how we can be blinded to our own greatness.
Yeah.
And it really does take someone to bring it up to you to say, "Yeah, it's there."
Yeah.
And it's a good fire starter, you know, to point it out to someone and like, "Hey, yo, you got it, bro."
Hey, just be honest, when I injured my back 16, 17 years ago, whatever it was, ended up in Virginia Beach Psych detoxing off of prescription pain pills because the doctor said you can't get addicted to it. And we all know what that epidemic turned into.
Yes.
But I'm sitting in an NA meeting and I'm sharing my pain because I thought I was supposed to do that and I wanted to get better. And I would have somebody come up and say, "You know, I never was able to say that I was molested as a child and I don't feel alone anymore," or whatever I went through, somebody resonated with and they didn't feel they're not the only person on the planet. That's why I share my story so freely. But I'm being selfish. It helps me. It helps me heal. And I want to be the biggest fucking beacon of light on the planet. Fuck the devil. Fuck those motherfuckers. I told them motherfuckers, I said, "If you don't fucking kill me, I'm going to fuck you every fucking chance I get. Fuck you, motherfucker." And I do. And I thoroughly enjoy it.
That's pretty much Wes in a nutshell. He's going to antagonize the...
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's what we're doing. That's what
I'm doing then. But I don't go out of my way for it.
Right,
But my deal with them is this:
for sure,
if you step in front of me,
for sure,
if you torment a friend, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yep.
End of story. Period. Because I have no fear.
That's good.
Because of what I went through. I was so terrified. Right.
Yep.
I didn't understand it. Now I understand it, and I respect them. Mm-hmm. They have a job. I have a job. Motherfucker, I'm more powerful than you.
Yes.
You stay over there, and I'll see him. I'll see him out on the street and doing stuff, and they keep looking at me. In my mind's eye, I'll tell them, "So you got a choice. Mm-hmm. You can leave and be a little bitch somewhere else, or I'm just gonna kill you."
That's it.
And usually they give me. Andrea's been there more than a few times. You too. They'll say something and they're like, "He's dead," because they gave me the golden armor of God. So all I have to do is pull that sword out and I cut him in half. Yeah. So the normal stuff we talk about.
The normal things,
right?
Normal Saturday afternoon behavior.
It is actually just normal stuff that we all talk about. Well, Ty, I just want to say that, Wes, I think you've put out maybe about 45 episodes at this point, right?
Yeah, a few, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, usually 3 a week, and we're in season 2, halfway through season 2. And Ty, I have to say, from day one, episode 1, Wes was like, we got to get Ty on the show. We got to get Ty on the show. And, so many times your name would come up through all these episodes. And so I just want to say
Ty?
thank you. And you paint such an amazing picture. Wes is a great storyteller. Yeah. And then having you come in and just kind of lend your own little paintbrush to the story, it's been just incredible to listen to you. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, man, I love you, and thank you for saving my life.
Ah, man, what do you say to that? What do you say to somebody who tells you thank you for saving their life? I'm like, is your welcome enough?
Yeah, just saying. Being a United States Marine, we hear that all the time.
I get that. I might have heard it a time or two myself in my military career, but
seriously, I love you. And
love you, bro.
Everybody, this season is turning out to be fantastic. Reach out to us. We've got people reaching out, asking questions all the time. If you have questions on anything, just let us know. Did Margaret come out today?
Yes.
Yeah, so we're recording this live for you. It's kind of like fresh frozen.
Yeah.
And so it's live for us, it's fresh frozen for you. But Margaret was out. The children's book that we just did. Yeah, the one that we can't remember the name of. Sydney's New Bike is doing really, really well.
And it's a great book. It's a great book. Even though he doesn't remember the name of it, it's still great.
Yeah, but it teaches their children what we've been talking about. How to be part of the community and raise money for people and love somebody that doesn't look like you. So we will see you soon. And thank you for listening to the show.
You've been listening to Enlightenment Unknown with Wes Coons, your guide on the quest for self-discovery and the version of you we haven't met yet.